And we are live.
Let's go. It's been a while since I've been here.
Yeah.
When was the last podcast? It was like May or something?
The last one you were in was, like May or maybe April?
Well, it was, we took a huge long break up until end of August, beginning of September. Then we started it up again. And Jay's finally back.
What was I going to say? We've been playing Black Ops. I mean, I've been playing periodically. I played on Friday, then I played yesterday for a few hours.
Chuck's going crazy.
We all have an addiction.
It is very fun. This one is like, I don't know, this one's extremely good. I love it.
It's definitely the best out of the last couple that have come out. I mean, I've enjoyed the last couple, but this one has had a couple years to actually fix a lot of the issues, even though there are still issues with it.
Yeah.
Was it Caleb? I don't know I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I have almost half the guns gold already.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I'm like almost done with the first one to have a gold, but it's gonna take me a while.
It's so fun though.
The SMGs are kind of annoying to get gold. They're hard to get headshots with.
Yeah, it's gonna be a grind for sure. But I definitely do want to get Dark Matter for this one.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it does look good. But I've heard a lot of people are liking it. We'll have to do a podcast on it maybe next week. I don't know if we'll do story mode. Have you guys tried
Probably
story
not.
mode at all?
I haven't.
I played about the first day. I got early access to it because of the New Zealand thing. It's actually pretty good so far. I played the first 4 or 5 missions in it. It's pretty good.
I actually haven't heard anything about the story mode. I've seen a lot of stuff about zombies. I don't even know what the general reception is on zombies either.
People are also liking zombies. Like even people
good.
online that don't like COD, like Moist Critical and Mudahar, they all like it.
That just goes to show that you need like 3. I don't know how many years it took them to develop this. Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, people generally like the story. I haven't seen much about the zombies. I tried it briefly, but I was playing by myself, so I didn't really get very far in it.
We should try the zombies. I totally forgot about zombies. I just want to straight into multiplayer.
I definitely want to play it before we talk about it on the podcast next week.
Yeah.
Seeing if there's any other big gaming news. Like, I don't really think there has been anything big.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything recently.
Other than like a few games coming out like in December. Like the Indiana Jones game comes out in December. But I'm not.
I bet your dad's gonna play that one.
I doubt it. It's a first-person game, so I don't know how much he'd fare with first person.
What do you play on Switch?
At 20 FPS.
I think on Switch?
I don't think it's coming out on Switch.
Oh, that would be terrible.
I think they've stopped trying to put those AAA games on Switch now because like they actually managed to get Doom on there, and that was one of the last big ones. I think
that's kind of crazy, though. I mean, the game is super optimized. Doom on the Switch. That's kind of ridiculous.
I actually played Alone in the Dark. I played on Steam Deck entirely.
Oh, really?
How was that?
It was okay.
Well,
so
the
I played
game
it
had
on
a few issues that even on PC.
It was like I played it. I played it handheld at the airport and on the plane for a bit. And it was like I probably was getting like 20-25 frames, but it wasn't terrible. I just had to turn everything down like a ton. But
did you use FSR at all?
Yeah, I did. I ended up watching like an explanation video after I finished the game, and just seeing it on PC like on like a desktop with like full graphics, it looked so good.
The game actually does look good.
Better than when I was playing it at.
Oh shoot! I forgot to start the recording.
Oh, it's okay. We have the YouTube. Oh no, Mocha! You guys see Mocha?
Yeah.
I'll just start the recording just so we have it. Is
she still on her bulk?
She is on her bulk. She hasn't. I don't think she's lost any weight.
She's on a constant bulk.
Can I move this guy out of here?
Mocha.
Craigbot's gonna be on the stream.
Wait, why?
That's Craigbot. Can you remove?
Why is it on the stream?
I'm trying to see if I can.
Turn off show non-video participants. You
are correct. All right, that should be good.
Good.
We're Gucci.
So, what was I gonna say? The main thing that I feel this game kind of, I feel like one of the main things that this game has popularity from is from the actor from Stranger Things, Hopper. He's the main, well, I guess you could say the main character of the game, but I guess you can play as both characters.
Most people choose the guy though, from what I've heard.
Actually, isn't the girl from Stranger Things too?
No, I don't know what she's from. Let me see.
What the notes just got deleted.
Yeah, Mocha did that.
What in the world?
Okay,
crazy.
Judy Comer or Comer. I don't know how to say her name.
I only recognize like one thing she was in, but I forgot what that was.
Well, you said she was in one of the Star Wars movies as Rey's mom.
Yeah,
but you don't even see her face.
What it was.
You see like the
it
back
was literally
of her.
Just her body.
Wait, what's her name?
Judy Comer. Comer.
Judy. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Oh, I've seen her before.
She's not a huge actor, but
Alone in the Dark was the last thing. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really see any big movies or anything that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people, even before this game came out, complaining that they're spending a large budget on these voice actors instead of like putting the effort into the game. And they're not like huge actors and actresses.
Well, the guy is pretty decently big.
Well,
he's made him big.
He's definitely famous, but mainly from Stranger Things. And at least from what I was seeing, his net worth was like $6 million, something like that.
He's also famous for having those feet pics online too.
What?
Him?
I don't know. There was like I don't know if it was real, but
well, he was in.
He
was in that. What do you call it? Black Widow movie. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that's true. He was.
I've never watched that. So
the game cost $20 million to make, from what I saw. So it was not like they spent a significant amount of the budget on the voice actors. Not like Robert Downey Jr. and his $80 million to come on as Dr. Doom.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I feel like they gave decent performances.
I thought it was pretty good.
Nothing hinged on that though. Maybe some of the marketing did.
One thing you said, JJ, when you started playing it, you said that the world itself wasn't super polished, but the character models were, or something like that. Or
at the very start. At the very start, I thought that, but the world actually was fairly detailed, and it looked good on PC. Chuck and I have been playing on ultra-wide monitors, and it actually looked really good on there.
I just ordered mine.
Nice. Ultra-wide crew.
It's so sick.
It looks so good. The blacks are insane.
I know. OLED. I could never go back from OLED after using an OLED TV.
Well, plus ultra-wide, too. Like, it's weird looking at a 16:9 resolution.
Yeah, off topic, but I upgraded to Windows 11 just because it has better HDR and other features, and they actually make it a lot easier to move windows around. So
like we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, I saw Ricky posting those videos.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I can snap one thing direct center of the ultra wide, and then I have tabs on either side that snap, and then you can actually adjust the size kind of like you can on Mac.
I do like Windows 11. I've had it for I want to say like a year now.
I haven't had a single issue with it so far. I mean, it's definitely different than Windows 10, but
I have that Windows 10 still.
There's no reason to upgrade to not upgrade, other than preference.
Right.
It'd be weird getting used to like the center, having everything centered.
Yeah.
At the bottom on your taskbar.
I feel like at first, for me, it was mainly managing my files. Because they removed some options. I don't know, like they don't have the same options. Like you right click on it and then it'll
Well, you actually have to go to a second window. You right click it and then you hit show more options and then it's the normal menu that pops up. So it's not too bad.
It didn't take me that long to adjust, honestly.
But I don't get the hate for it now. Maybe at the beginning when it was really buggy and stuff, but it's fine now. But anyway,
were we talking about the character design?
Yeah, the character models.
I was gonna say. Well, you said the world designs are good, or the world design was good, which I actually love the way they had it set up. It was basically open world, but like I don't know what you call it. Basically,
it's Resident Evil-esque.
Yeah, a lot of the areas of the area that you're given are locked off, and you slowly unlock more areas of the. Well, you're like in a mansion or something.
You're in a sanatorium, a sane asylum. Yeah. The game really wanted to be Resident Evil. I don't think it pulled off a lot of the tropes as well, but it does a decent job.
I thought it was. I thought the combat in particular wasn't really. I thought it wasn't as good as like I know we're comparing it to Resident Evil, but I mean, really, it was trying to like replicate a lot of that, and I thought that it didn't do it that well. It was kind of
in certain
thrown
cases
in.
the combat was outright bad. Like if you fight the small little spider creatures, sometimes I would
Oh, those
miss
things are
them
stupid.
point blank.
Yeah, that was so. I know, I missed them too. That was so annoying.
It's
I
just
remember
like
that.
they were like the toughest enemies in the game.
Or the
And
bats. Did you have trouble with the bats?
not really, because
I
I could
mean-
aim assist onto them. I could just aim and it would
Oh, I
instantly
didn't
log
have
onto
aim
them.
assist.
I think you
Really?
did if you played on controller.
if you played on Steam Deck, then it probably did have it, just a little bit.
Huh. I was like complaining on how I couldn't lock on enemies.
Well,
Or it was, like,
Oh.
really-
I think it might have
maybe I
been
turned it off by
because of the
accident.
low frame rate that you had issues with the combat.
Yeah.
Because
I also played it docked, so I blew it up on my TV and it just looks so
Oh.
bad.
Yeah. I've played a lot of games docked. Like at your wedding, I was actually playing Sekiro, and I played a lot of the game on docked Steam Deck like that.
Does it run well on Steam Deck?
Actually, yeah, it was kind of surprising. I got it to run pretty well with FSR and decently high settings. So it
you
looked
just need a
actually
nice
looked
punching
good.
bag with that game.
What is it?
You just
A
need a
punching
nice
bag?
punching bag with you when you play that game.
Yeah, that's true. But I had
Eat 'em.
already gotten through a lot of the game once, so it was a bit easier for me this time, and I
Oh,
finally
okay.
beat it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
Um,
could see how you'd have a hard time on Steam Deck with this game.
Yeah, I wasn't. Back to the Resident Evil thing. I think the combat was like the main issue, but I thought a lot of the puzzles and, like I said, like certain areas of the map being locked off. I thought that was like very much, or that was done very well, and
Oh,
actually
I
reminded me a
love
lot
the
of Resident Evil.
puzzles. I love the puzzles in it.
The puzzles were very fun.
I don't really remember most of them, to be honest, because I actually brute forced a lot of them. Like, there were the zodiac sign puzzles, or whatever those were,
Mhm.
and I literally just went like, I clicked on every possible option
Yeah,
until it
I did-
unlocked.
I actually unlocked a few of the safes by guessing the combination.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it with most stuff. So I feel like I missed some of the puzzles. Like there was a puzzle involving medicine bottles, and I never did that one. I don't know what that was even for.
I don't know
Oh,
what that
that's
one
for
was
the
for either.
that's for one of the endings. There's 5 different endings to the game.
Oh.
Whoa, what? Did we get the same
Um,
ending, or maybe we got different endings then?
I'm sure we got the same ending.
Well, I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure we
know.
all got the same ending because for the other ones, a couple of them require you to play both of the campaigns, and then a couple other ones are like secrets. So you have to actively complete a bunch of things, and do a bunch of things in game to actually get it to activate, which is interesting.
So let's see. Are there really 5? It looks like there might be 4
Well,
because
there's
each has a
5,
normal ending
there-
and each
there-
has a secret ending.
I think there might be. Yeah, there's a 5th one.
Oh, secret grace ending. I see.
Well, don't spoil
Interesting.
anything yet, because
No, I'm not going to be
We'll
reading
talk
it.
about that in the spoiler section, but the Grace character, I was kind of confused about something on. But maybe you guys can
There-
clarify on that because I wasn't. I got confused, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of like, I put a bunch of Reddit threads in there, and people had like possible like theories about stuff, which
So people aren't sure of everything that was happening.
not exactly no.
That's kind of interesting.
But I don't know. Going back to the puzzles though, did you guys see the puzzle option at the beginning where it was said old school versus helpful?
Oh, I think
You
I did
said to do
helpful.
modern.
Or no, modern.
Yeah, I started with old school.
What is the
I was
difference?
so confused. Well, basically, you know when you're doing the puzzles and there's the thing on screen. So if you're trying to type in a code, there's like the 3 things, and you just like it shows you the numbers that you have like set, like preset on the screen. I'm talking about.
Oh, I see. Yeah, at the right side of the screen, it has actual numbers,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then without it, I guess it doesn't have the numbers.
Old school like shuts all of the pre like help, so you have to figure out like where the specific numbers go.
Yeah, I
And-
was
and
at first. I
got
didn't notice that was
so
a thing.
confused. I was like, "How are you supposed to complete this?" And then because you have to do more like research about it, about everything, and it's harder.
So you
It wasn't
changed it back.
research though.
I changed
Honestly,
it
I
back
just
to
think
helpful.
I think the format was just confusing the way it was laid out because you didn't
Yeah.
know what was the top or the bottom and what number was actually selected.
Yeah, you know, I actually didn't even see those numbers on the right side or wherever they were until later. So like I was trying to look at the dial and see what the number was,
Yeah, that
It
happened
was
for me too.
yeah.
I didn't notice it for a bit, and then
Yeah,
when I
old
did,
school
I was like,
basically
"Oh, it's just
shuts
so
those
much better."
numbers off. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, the
But
puzzles were pretty good. I'm trying to remember if there's any that were actually hard.
I don't think any were hard for me. The only one was, or I think one of them was kind of tedious, which was the light one where you had to direct the light. Like that took me like a good
Whoa.
Oh, you had to
30,
run a
45
lot on that
minutes.
one.
Oh, yeah, that was not even a
Yeah.
puzzle really. It was just
Yeah, it was
run
just
back
about
and
a
forth.
back and forth.
But that area was really cool.
It
Like,
was
some of the
really
set
cool.
pieces were
It was
really well
amazing.
done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and if people weren't aware, this game is a Lovecraftian game. Like it takes place in the Lovecraftian universe, which I
actually
didn't know
even
at
know
first.
that. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Wait, like actually Lovecraft Universe?
Yeah, it's a Lovecraftian game.
Hmm.
I
We
noticed
can
it
talk
as soon
about
as
we can
there
talk
was,
about
like,
it more in the spoiler talk, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so this game has two different stories. So you can play as David Harbour's character as one story, or Judy Comer's character as another one. We all played David Harbour's, and I don't really know what's involved with her story, but there is a part near the end that it was actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I was almost like, man, I kind of wish I could see what her story was about, because he has a different experience than her in like in reality. Like different things are happening before his eyes, and I want to know how much of it was actually real and how much was in his head.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if they happen simultaneously. Is that what you mean?
Well, they are, but there's a scene where it went to that. I don't know if it's called isometric view, but or the fixed camera view,
oh yeah.
and there was
Oh,
like some stuff
yeah,
happening for
yeah.
him. It wasn't for her, and I don't know if like it was in his head or not. But it was like the scene itself was kind of funny, and I was curious to see what her story was about, because
I
she
did read-
is very confused as to what he's doing half the time.
Yeah, I did read something online that said that the stories are very similar. The only real difference is that the way you explore their past is different, obviously.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's probably other differences. I mean, oh, and I think there's like melee, or it's like melee or something, more melee focus with her or something.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Really, because the melee combat was annoying.
Yeah.
The melee
it's
combat
dookie.
sucked.
There was one part where you need to break down a door with melee, and there's also flying creatures attacking you, and that part was so frustrating to me, because like I was trying to swing at the door and would miss every time, because it just like it doesn't lock on to them or anything. It just swings randomly and misses.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
also
melee sucked.
there was one scene where it's right after you get the shotgun. I went into a room, and the room changed, and creatures came out and insta-killed me.
Yeah, I know that scene.
But the problem with me
Yeah.
was it loaded me back in the previous chapter.
Ah.
So I had to replay part of the chapter. It was super annoying.
Did you guys also have? There was one portion of the game where you're running through like I'll just say like a cave system, sorta, and there are too many enemies
Oh yeah.
at a time. Did you guys
Yeah.
die there?
Yeah, I died there once.
I got stuck. Like
There was a spot where you're supposed to run, and I did
yeah,
run.
But if you stop for a second, you're pretty much
yeah.
screwed.
I got
Yeah.
stuck twice because I wasn't able to. Like you just have to keep going and even kind of almost. I want to say like glitch past them. It's like
Did you guys have any problem with the saving? Because I felt like after that, where it took me back too far, I was constantly auto saving or manual saving, so I wouldn't lose progress.
I don't think I had any issues. I did find myself manually saving just for sake of not wanting to lose my progress,
Mhm.
but
There was
I didn't
only
get pushed
there was,
back
I think
far.
it was only one or two times that I actually got annoyed at them sending you back for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
I think-
you were raging a little bit at one time. I heard you.
Yeah, it was like I died at I forgot what it was, but it took me back so far. And I was like, really? Do I have to play through this whole section again? But
Yeah,
I
it was just
forgot
a
what
bit
part it
buggy in
was.
general. One time I got stuck in a door. I opened the door, and then I somehow got pulled into the cabinet that I was opening, and I couldn't get out, so I had to reload a save.
oh, it was the glitch that I think I just remembered it.
Was it on the boat?
It was on the boat.
Yeah,
And did you have this too?
I think it was the same thing.
And
Same place.
I ran. You have to break the door down, and there's like a like bloody ladder you have to climb down, like a couple bloody ladders that leads you into the generator basement. You know what I'm talking about? In the boat, you have to start.
Yeah, I know what that is.
I ran in and I ran over the side, but I was floating, and so I was just floating
that didn't happen
there.
to me.
And I was trying to get my character to like move, and I had to reset, and that was the section that I had to restart, and it moved me back to the beginning of the boat.
I got caught, and a similar thing happened to me, but it wasn't in that area. It was towards the end when you're like going on the roof of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I mantled onto the platform above me too much to the right, and then I ended up being glitched and like floating in the air, so I had to restart.
Yeah, it's so.
Yeah,
annoying.
there definitely was. I don't even know how to say it, but like a level of unpolished.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little clunky. Like the movement.
Yeah,
the movement
maybe it was
a little
the Steam Deck, but I guess not.
No,
I guess that's
it was the game in general. And if you played it on PC, you would feel it just feels weird, especially when you first start it. It's almost like you turn, when you turn the FOV all the way up and your character looks chunky. It's like his body might be like kind of like wider than normal.
Yeah.
If the whole FOV kind of felt like that, and it felt like that for me too. It's like, why does he control like this, and why does he look like the FOV is cranked up?
Yeah. I know you played it on the Steam Deck, Kill, but on PC, I think JJ and I both we were getting a ton of micro stutters, or at least I was. I don't know if you were.
I don't know. I couldn't tell. It just wasn't running well for me, just in general.
Like it would run well.
I think it was when shaders were loading.
Boom, micro stutter, because they didn't have a shader preloading.
Yeah, they did.
You saw that.
They had an option. I turned it on. Yeah, I turned it on, but it didn't help.
Oh, okay.
Did you notice I don't know if it was loading or what, but like when you open the door, did you ever get stuck there and like you were stuck at the door, like almost opening it but not opening it?
No, but what I did notice is how doors would close after you, and sometimes you open a door, you're like, oh, I wasn't supposed to be in this room, and you try to turn and go out, but the door is closing on you, so you can't. You have to wait for it to close, and you got to wait to do the animation again.
They should have done the what is it? Either the Resident Evil doors, where you could literally just once their door is unlocked, you could just run through it and it opens it automatically.
Yeah, it bursts open. I was actually trying to think of like how Resident Evil did that.
Like once you have the door unlocked, you could just run freely through it.
This game is definitely better than that one Resident Evil game we played.
Oh yeah, it
Made of Scare. Is that what
that
itch? Called?
Yeah.
Was it Made of Scare?
I think
that
it was.
Sucked. That was so bad.
Did you guys ever see Scare Ritual?
I heard about it.
Look it up right now.
Embarrassing.
It looks so bad. Like it's basically like they tried copying Call of Duty Zombies, but in the Scare universe. And it looks so
the SCU Scare Cinematic Universe.
Why is it very positive?
I have no idea. I tried the demo of it one time.
Wait,
it was
what?
Absolute dookie.
Honestly, it doesn't look bad though.
I was gonna say this doesn't even look that bad.
I've tried it though, and it's dookie.
Yeah, like the graphics look good, and it's very positive on Steam. So obviously, it's not hated.
No, people don't hate it. It's just, It just
it's just funny that it's in the Scare universe. Like what?
Yeah, no one.
They're trying to push their universe.
I don't even remember what the universe was about, to be honest.
Yeah, KZ. Jay's with us today.
KZ here?
What's up, KZ?
Yeah. KZ's in the chat.
Jay from Cubold Gaming.
The hit channel Cubold Gaming.
If Ricky was here, he'd kill you.
Yeah, I don't know why he hates that so much.
I don't know why. It's like I always said it, and all of a sudden recently he started getting so annoyed at me saying it.
He freaked out the other day when he said it, and Chug was so confused. Let's see.
So,
what else? So, in terms of a horror game, do you guys think it was scary at all?
Not really. No,
it wasn't scary.
I wouldn't call it horror either.
There were some creepy parts to it, but
I don't know. I didn't find it scary, but it just had a creepy vibe to it. I mean, it's Lovecraftian, so it had that vibe. I guess it's.
Well, once I found out it was
scary,
Lovecraftian, I actually enjoyed it a little bit more.
I found it very interesting. I love Lovecraftian stuff.
Yeah, the story itself, certain parts are really interesting, and other parts, Mocha jumped up on the window and it unblurred her for a second. But yeah, certain parts are really interesting. Other parts I didn't really care for. Yeah. Like in Resident Evil, you have like the big villain that chases you around. There's one scene that kind of is like that, but enemy just stands there and has this damaging mist around it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's not
Oh,
scary, it's just more annoying.
that's what they were going for. Oh, that makes sense. Like a what is it, Mr. X?
An
Yeah.
invincible enemy that you can't really do anything to.
Ah, that makes sense.
And it follows you around, but it didn't even really do anything. It just
It
stood there
didn't.
and let the little mist
Mr.
appear.
X is terrifying in Resident Evil. but
Yeah.
It's like this one was not.
Wait, you
really.
guys still need to play Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
That
I
one's
mean, I'd be
really
down to play
short.
that for next week, to be
It's
honest.
literally 3 hours. It's so short.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we should play that again.
Well, we could play it for next week. You never played that, did
Well,
you?
we could do the
We got
Black Ops
COD.
podcast next week, and then maybe
But
we could.
I mean, that one's Resident Evil games are timeless. We don't have to do them during
That's
the
true.
spooky season.
But I mean, it is still, Halloween season, so we could squeeze one in before we do the
Well, I mean-
COD podcast.
this Thursday is
Thursday
Halloween.
is-
That's the last day of October.
For a 3-hour game, though, that's like a thing you could finish in one sitting.
Yeah, true.
Because I've been wanting to play it for a while. You have it,
So-
right?
Yeah, Caleb has it. I
Yeah, I have
think.
it.
We all
in-
shared, right? Or we
Yeah,
have,
the
like, a shared
library thing is so sick.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Steam
the
updated their
Steam
library
library.
system, so you can add a bunch of people to your Steam family or whatever it is. And apparently, they're gonna add an update where you can play games at the same time.
Yeah,
That's actually
well, the
really
other
cool.
day
Oh,
I thought they did, but Jay was playing it, and I wanted to boot it
kicked
up,
off.
and then it said purchase, so I'm like,
Hmm.
it's weird.
So what do you guys think of like? What do you think of the game as a whole? Because I kind of want to get into spoilers, but as a whole, like, did you find it enjoyable or?
It scratched the Resident Evil itch for me, just like for a little bit. I did
Yeah,
enjoy
I'd
it.
say it's an average Resident Evil game. It's not even Resident Evil, but you can consider it like if you like Resident Evil a lot, this will kind of get there,
Mhm.
but it's not going to be Resident Evil. So don't expect that level of polish.
You don't have that I don't even know what you call it, like that weird charm that Resident Evil has.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like where the lines are super cheesy and
No, it's different than that. I guess some parts are a bit cheesy, but not in like the charming way.
no, that's what I mean. Is like the Resident Evil can get away with it because it's like
Where's
I don't know,
everyone
just the-
going? Bingo.
yeah, it's so
Stuff like that.
corny.
Towards the end, though, it definitely changed my mind on the game a bit. I was very like negative about certain things for a while, but the ending itself
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, that plus
That was
just some of the
insane.
events, that made me feel more positive about the game, and I think it was worth playing after that.
Yeah, I mean,
Although-
I liked it honestly.
Was
I thought
it
it was good.
the price though? Like how
Yeah, I
much
was
did we pay?
about to say.
It
Oh.
was
Well, we got it for 30, I think.
Actually-
35.
although it is more hours than most
Oh,
other
it's only
games.
30.
It was $30 for you said you spent 8 hours, Caleb?
Oh, but it's on sale.
It's on
for
sale
30
for
right
30.
now. It's usually 60.
Ugh.
Honestly, I would not buy this for 60. $30 I'd pay for it.
They have a lot of little bundles you can get for this separately for their
Wait,
special edition.
bundles?
It's a $90 edition.
What do you even get with that?
Digital art book, director's commentary mode,
Oh.
the costume pack from the original 1992 game.
Wait, there was an Alone in the Dark in 2008.
Huh?
Was there?
Yeah.
Was that Alone in the Dark 2?
It's just Alone in the Dark. Looks like it was a reboot or something.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You play as Edward Carnby.
So which is the one that they were going for? I mean, I'm assuming they
This was
were
way
going
different.
a lot of yeah. The original is almost like the original
Oh,
Resident Evil
the
games.
new Nightmare? Is
Yeah.
that the one?
It's just Alone in the Dark 2008. It's in New York City Central Park or whatever, so it's not
Hmm.
even remotely the same.
Oh, I wonder.
It must have been one of those weird things, where they just made a game just to capitalize on the name and then
Yeah, it's
didn't even follow
possible.
the source material.
It's the 5th installment of the series under the same name.
What?
That's crazy.
Wait, so the original was published by Atari under the same name. Let's see. This was titled Alone in the Dark Inferno.
I'm seeing a bunch. I'm seeing Alone in the Dark, Illumination. I'm seeing Alone in the Dark.
Illumination.
The new Nightmare. I'm seeing
So many.
Alone in the Dark Anthology. What is happening?
Yeah, so the 2008 one was an anthology, and there were episodes.
Illumination. What the heck? Mostly negative. 2015. Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
I don't
they did
know.
a good job with making a good variant of it with this one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say for $60, it doesn't feel like it has that polish. It's a good $30 game.
Yeah, $30
But
for sure.
yeah, overall I did
Crazy.
like it. It had its issues, but I think it redeemed itself in the end.
Yeah, definitely wait till the ending because some portions like midway through the game you're gonna be like considering. You might consider stop playing it, but it's worth it for the ending.
Although I never considered stop playing it.
Well, I mean, I
didn't
wasn't gonna
until
stop playing
the
it.
final boss.
Yeah.
But
Well, I wasn't gonna stop playing it obviously because we were gonna do a podcast on it. But I was like, there's points where I'm like, I just don't want to like. I don't know.
well, because COD was out, and I wanted to be playing
that
COD
too,
instead.
Yeah.
That too.
I literally,
You guys wanna
I beat it the day COD came out.
Oh.
Like right before, because I wanted to do the New Zealand trick, but I figured out that the campaign was the only thing PC people can access or whatever. But so good.
You guys want to get the spoilers?
Yeah, let's do it.
Where do you guys want to start?
In terms of spoilers, the different stories. So you guys know how the stories differed at all?
Well, all I know is that basically the private investigator, whatever, Edward, his was more of like a supernatural private investigator background, and hers was more of like a World War II, World War One story.
Oh, hers.
Her
okay.
like yeah,
when you relive the past or whatever.
Yeah, the memories. But that's all I really know. I haven't really looked into hers.
I'm seeing people say, aside from so what differs is the cutscenes and how people react to your character as well as the endings. Well, that doesn't really help. One of your memories is different. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if does she experience the supernatural stuff too? That's what I was thinking before. Like, with that section you were talking about where the people, well, he goes into the closet and she thinks he's crazy or whatever.
The closet opens a gateway and he's like, "You don't see the gateway?" And she's like,
"Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "I'm gonna go in the closet." And she's like, "All right, whatever you want to do."
Yeah.
So I wanted to see her perspective of him just climbing into the closet.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that'd be really
He's
funny.
just like sitting in there and
yeah.
That's what I was saying. Is like, what if they're not simultaneous in that way? Like, I don't know. How does that work? Because like she's fighting. She has combat sections, so she's fighting these monsters. So why wouldn't she believe him?
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. Because if she has any supernatural like experience at all, why would she be so confused when he explains his supernatural experience?
Yeah,
because she acted like he was just a drunk guy, just like hanging around the house and messing everything up, rather than actually doing anything at all.
There was what is it? There was a theory that I saw online. I forgot. It might be in one of the Reddit posts that I sent in the actual document, but it was like so there's one of the endings, the secret ending, is basically the investigator got Edward and then Emily with Grace, the little girl, and they were walking out of a movie theater, and they were apparently like, they looked like there was like it's insinuation that that was their daughter or something.
Who, Grace?
Yeah. And people were saying like, what if the whole game was just them watching a movie and pretending like they were in
what
that like, I don't know, in the movie people's place, and they walked out of the
to bring your child to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I feel like that
was the secret ending. So
yeah, I don't think that's what the theory is going, or what it's actually happening.
No,
I see someone here on Steam community saying both characters play out exactly the same from what I'm seeing so far. Same cutscenes, only swapping the characters, same puzzles, and even the same starting points, which was quite disappointing to be honest.
Yeah, because they really made it seem like they were separate stories, and you'd actually be experiencing different things.
Yeah, like Resident Evil 2. With,
and they meet up at some points, and then you see the other perspective.
Those are way different. Those were like two
different games.
Yeah, but they were simultaneous.
Yeah, they're both really good. So it's weird that they're kind of just the same story rehashed. But a part of it was they were facing their own trauma, I guess. With Carnby, he had been hired to find the girl Grace, from
in his past.
And her mother had hired him because the dad kidnapped her and was gonna just drive away and live with her somewhere else. And he managed to track them down, and he ran their car off the bridge, and he went down, saved the girl, and let the dad drown.
See, that's what I was confused about. Is I thought that the girl and the dad drowned, but I guess
no,
not.
He saved her, but it turns out the dad was actually the nice one, and the mom was the abusive one. So the girl actually wanted to be with the dad, and he just let the dad die.
So how did she end up at the hotel? Or sorry, not the hotel.
I think the mom was there because she was crazy, right?
There was the lady that was smoking.
I think so, right?
Was she really?
I thought she was the mom.
I don't know. You never saw her with her.
Well, no. Remember, there was that one part where the little girl and the lady went into another room, and they heard the mom or they heard the lady yelling at her a bunch of stuff. That's when I thought that she was the mom, because they had mentioned something about the mom being abusive. So I was like, oh, she's probably just yelling at her kid and abusing her kid.
I just don't know why the kid would be at a insane asylum or whatever it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she actually had trauma because of that experience.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's true.
Because that was back in was that the 1920s? Yeah, it was. Let's see. I'm looking on the wiki right now. It looks like the girl was born in 1918, 1919. So she was probably 10. So late 1920s.
Oh wait, inside the room she finds a paranoid Jeremy. Oh wait, never mind.
Gabriella Saunders. She was not in the game.
Huh.
Okay, so that other lady was just being a butthead to her. She was just yelling at her for no reason.
Who was that lady anyway?
I don't know, it was just a freak.
Came with that.
Well, so that was the sanatorium, and almost everyone there was crazy, except for the doctor's staff and all those things.
I think the other guy was just an alcoholic. I feel like he's just there because he was an alcoholic. Because he was
yeah. The weird thing to me was it seemed like everyone there had agency. Like they could come and go as they pleased, and they all had their own lives. But they were in this sanatorium, so I don't really know. They weren't wearing patient gowns or anything like that. They're just wearing their.
Well,
usual
I didn't
clothes.
realize it was a sanatorium at first. I
didn't either.
When he went in and he was talking to the maid lady, and he was meeting all these people, I'm like, who are these people? Like, what? And how are they letting me just walk around their mansion? This is so random.
That's exactly what I thought. And then she was like, "Get back to your rooms," which I thought was weird because they weren't they didn't look like patients at first. They just looked like weird people at a hotel. Mm-hmm. But I think it was just a confusing way of conveying the story. It definitely was a sanatorium, but they didn't portray people like they were actually in an insane asylum or something.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was Jeremy's house for more than half the game.
Yeah, I thought it was just his family. His crazy family lived there too. Mm-hmm. And then I was confused to why there was a doctor in a doctor's office in the place. Yeah,
it was very confusing.
So it did make sense eventually, but it still is a weird way to portray it.
So the portion of the game where I felt I got really interested, or at least maybe surprised, was towards the end of the game when things just go crazy. So the monster, I don't even know how to describe this.
Let's do the other monster first. The Dark Man.
The Dark Man. He was kind of... I didn't find him very intriguing. So he was a magician from, a past time or something?
I think Egypt. It was an Egyptian... I don't know if it was some sort of deity they worshipped. I think he might have been because of the whole Egypt section.
That was cool. That was so cool.
You find his pact or whatever. So he must have been some sort of evil entity that
I'm actually
Egyptians
reading
worshipped.
So basically that... it's based off of a creature called the Nyarlathotep. And apparently it's an ancient Egyptian pharaoh in the Cthulhu universe. The followers lose awareness of the world around them, and through the reader gets an impression of the world's collapse. Okay, whatever. Does it say like what he does though?
He didn't do a whole lot in the game either.
Yeah.
He just stood there and looked menacing.
Mhm.
It looks like all the creatures are kind of based around the stuff
They are from Cthulhu, or they're based on Cthulhu?
No, it's a H.P. Lovecraft character called the Nyarlathotep.
Mm.
I'm just trying to figure out what he does. Like
Powers and abilities. I'm looking at it now. Oh, wait, what? Strategy.
the Black
only way
Man
they
of the Witch Cult.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess he got. Why is he there though? I never understood why he was.
Well,
There.
apparently
Jeremy made a pact with him at some
Yeah.
point.
Well, Jeremy had went to the theater thing with the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Apparently that was
Oh.
where he first met this creature.
So it was a
and-
real sarcophagus?
Yeah, but it was a
Okay.
show. It was a show that they were showing off, and he was just wearing that outfit.
What was
and
the pact?
The pact was because of the cult that they had around the mansion, which is another.
Well, no. Actually, there were two things going on at once. There was Jeremy's thing, and then there was the cult with the other creature.
But I was reading that because of the cult at the place, the people were saying that the people were actually dressing up as the Dark Man, not when Jeremy wasn't dreaming. Because the Dark Man only showed up in Jeremy's dreams, apparently.
What do you mean dressing up?
I don't know. That's what I was reading. There was another theory that the people at the hospital were dressing up as the Dark Man to get some sort of info out of him to keep the creature that was in the actual asylum at bay or something.
Yeah, because they're probably going off of the point where Jeremy punches, or not Jeremy, but the main character punches the nurse lady.
Yeah.
Or he punches the Dark Man, and then like the face falls off, and it's the nurse. But my interpretation was he was still hallucinating at that point, not that she was dressed up as that creature.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So so there was two things going on. The Jeremy was battling the Dark Man or whatever in his mind, and then the staff at the sanatorium were worshiping what is it called, the black goat monster?
There's a
or
bunch of
something?
different names for it.
Yeah, but what's the
What's your
black goat
favorite?
one? Favorite? Yeah, I definitely had some interesting names. Let's see. Alone in the Dark. Black goat. What is it even called?
There's one that
That one had a long name.
the main name, but I don't.
Black
don't
Goat of
really
the
wanna say
Woods.
it. It's very weird.
The Black Goat of the Woods is the one name they refer to it a lot.
I don't know how these relate though. Like the Dark Man in this thing.
You know what? I just connected this. I don't know if that name is from Lovecraft. So I'll just say the name here. Hopefully it doesn't get taken out of context. But the name of this thing is Shub-Niggurath. Okay, I really don't. This is an H.P. Lovecraft character, and he was super racist. I don't know if there's any correlation there to the name.
Straight from? It is. I'm pretty sure it is. It's
And
straight
the
from-
other
it
name is the Black Goat of the Woods.
It's an eldritch fertility deity, apparently.
Yeah,
literally.
I think there probably is some racism there from
He's
H.P.
an outer
Lovecraft.
god in the Cthulhu mythos.
I didn't
Interesting.
realize this. It's like the second Cthulhu game we've played for
Is it?
the
Oh,
Halloween
right.
stuff, because
I don't know if you played
Still Wakes the Deep is a Cthulhu game.
Oh no, I didn't play that one.
That's a good one. It was pretty good.
It's worth playing through. It's really fun, and it looks amazing on this monitor.
Yeah, from what I've seen of it, the game looks pretty good. But yeah, this character, if this was straight from Lovecraft, he gets a little weird with some stuff.
He
But-
was born in the early 1900s, so he's mega racist.
Well, I mean, his cat name,
Yeah.
I'm sure people have seen the meme. If they haven't, you just got to look up his cat's name. But yeah, so this creature was just in the woods, it looks like.
I guess so. I don't know.
Well, they built the
what-
mansion around it, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
cult, or the cult built the asylum around this tree
The
creature.
doctor was a part of the cult, right?
Everybody
They were
was.
all part of the cult.
Okay. Not Jeremy though.
No, he was. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
everyone there was. But then
Hmm.
he had his own little side story going on with this other creature. I think this other creature latched onto him somehow when he went to that play, because must have had a real sarcophagus with the body or something.
Yeah.
Because Edward made fun of him, like, "Oh, you're just afraid of some character from a show or whatever."
So what
And
about the monsters that you're fighting throughout the game? Like who conjures those? Or were they like
Well, I was reading that the Dark Man or whatever actually had those around him, or like when he spawns or something like that. He has some sort of bat creature, which is the flying creatures that you kill. He basically has like a little army.
Interesting.
But I don't know why they look like Stranger Things enemies. They should have looked more Egyptian
one?
if that was the case. Like
which ones?
the rot people. Don't they look like
They
Stranger
look like
Things people?
Cthulhu-ish.
Yeah,
To me.
Oh.
but
I thought.
the weird thing was, so you fight those enemies like with the whole Darkman story, but then you fight them with the Black Goat of the Woods story at the very, not story, but the whole sequence. He spawns them at the end. So I wonder how they're related.
Yeah, I don't understand the tie between those two unless they're just completely separate. And why
They never explained it.
or why the cult was interested in Jeremy the Dark Man or whatever.
Well, I know one thing is that I don't know if it was the location, like the woods or the actual sanatorium, it made people go crazy and start worshiping it, like against their will. They didn't really have
I
any
see.
agency there, and the longer they were there, the more crazy they would kind of go. My guess is the doctor was the one who built the place, and would use it to sacrifice patients to this creature. I don't know why they chose to sacrifice Grace.
Yeah.
That was a little weird. Maybe because she was the youngest one or something.
So weird. The ending
Yeah,
part.
that ending sequence was insane. It just got like
Well,
so gory.
Nothing happened up until the ending point.
It was
Anything
very
like that.
tame.
It was so funny.
There was blood and stuff, but it wasn't like that. I mean, just
Yeah.
so
Yeah, Chuck, I know you
gory.
said that before I even got to the part, you're like, yeah, when I got to the end part, like my mouth is open
My
just
jaw
watching
just
this.
kind of dropped. I'm like, what in the world?
You know what's funny though is okay. So, Elena was next to me when I was playing it on the TV, and you know how like before that whole sequence happens when things go crazy, you can walk around and like talk to people while you're waiting
Yeah.
for them to bring Grace. I went up to this guy, one of the characters, I can't remember who it was, and I pushed A to talk to them, and then I wanted to skip the dialogue because I didn't really care what they had to say. I ended up skipping the cutscene of them grabbing Grace and bringing her up and hanging her. So the next thing I saw was the chaos from the monster. I'm like, what did I? You ever see those memes where it's like, I'm never skipping a cutscene again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Because the whole game was relatively tame. Like when you could shoot creatures' heads and they'd explode, but they were creature guts. They weren't like humans or anything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the creature goes insane and crushes a guy's whole body, just like, a bunch of guts on the ground.
It's not just that
Yeah.
though. He starts ripping people to shreds,
Biting
stabbing
people in
them
half.
with the trunks of the tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and these are the people that you've been talking to for the whole game too.
Yeah.
Like people that you've gotten to know or like, just like understand, and then they're all dying. And it went off the rails so fast, and I was like,
It was so
this is
weird.
crazy. It was very
good, though. I
unexpected.
liked it.
I liked because it wasn't the usual like, oh yeah, we got the little girl back, we're just gonna go home or whatever.
Yeah.
But before that, Edward somehow lobotomizes Jeremy.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Perfectly through his eyes. There's no way.
Wait, what did he even use? It was like
Was it a key?
sacrificial-
No, yeah, it was a
Was
dagger.
it the dagger?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you're
So
supposed to stab it
random.
through the eye to save the creature.
Well, save him from. Well, I thought it was to save him from.
The pact.
Yeah, from the. Oh, from the pact or from the Dark Man? Or from the Darkman, right?
Pact with the Darkman.
With the Darkman, okay.
Yeah, because my guess is that he was kind of crazy before, and then the Darkman was able to latch onto that based on his own trauma or mental illness, and that's kind of what he did with Edward. He latched onto that trauma there to kind of affect him, and I think that's kind of how he operates, and that's probably why he was going for the people in that insane asylum.
What about Jacob? You know how it said to stab Jacob in the eye? What was that all about?
Wait, was
Like
it?
a sphere?
Yeah, I did see that. It had an interesting name, like Kill Jacob Van something.
Yeah.
Was that the guy in the Arctic?
Yeah, with the sphere thing. I'm like, what's
Yeah.
going on right now?
Let me look up Jacob on here.
And like, how are those two
Oh,
tied?
Stod.
Was he the?
He's a boss monster. He's a former human turned into a monstrous undead by the Dark Man. It doesn't say anything else beyond he was a monster. He's a reimagined version of Jacob Van Otz, the author of Terra Incognita, a book featured in the first Alone in the Dark.
Oh, so it's like an Easter egg for people who have played it before. Played the
I
old
guess, but they didn't. Did they explain it though?
I don't think they explained anything. I didn't know who he was. Like
I
naming
thought
this
maybe
dude
he
and,
was like
it's kind of random.
someone who discovered the Dark Man or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be.
Well, it was
guess
the desert area that you went to that had the sarcophagus that they found.
Yeah.
That was like.
But why did they bring you to the Arctic place with like the sphere?
Yeah, but what was the
It
sphere?
was so
for?
alien. Like,
Yeah. I don't know what the sphere was for, because you get the sphere all lined up, and then you just get taken somewhere else. So I'm like,
it kind of seems like a
kinda
lot of
random.
people are stumped on these areas too. Like from what I'm reading from Reddit, it's like I don't know.
very
There's
random.
not a lot of explanation as to some of these topics.
Yeah, like the nurse, right? The nurse was weird. She was kind of just like rude to everybody and wanted everyone to leave. Did she? It was almost like she was an owner of the house or something. I don't know why she had such authority
The
there.
one that locked the door, right?
Yeah,
I thought
Yeah.
she was like she was
She
like
worship-
yeah, she worked at the house, right?
yeah, but she was commanding everybody a lot. So I don't know.
know.
Maybe
Maybe she was
maybe the
just
doctor
overbearing.
gave her like permission to do that.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see, Dark Man. Okay, so it looks like the Dark Man got to the United States via the shipping company. Remember the shipping, like you're in the docks and there were the shipping containers? So that's how the Dark Man got there to begin with. Let's see. I don't know if it goes into anything beyond that. It's just like bare bones of how it got there. There's a lot of different names.
Oh, wait,
this
did you guys have
creature
any
has.
issues with enemies being stuck and stuff?
I haven't seen that.
No, I hadn't.
I had so many enemies that were just stuck in barrels, and it was just like screaming at me, and I was just staring at it, and it couldn't do anything to me. I had like maybe 3 or 4 different enemies during the game that happened with. Like another time he like went through the wall, and like in the cemetery, and then he walked out of the wall again, and then started attacking me. I'm like, what is this?
What'd you think of the end boss fight?
Did you guys die?
It was horrible. Yeah, I
I
died.
didn't die. I thought
didn't
it was
die either.
really, really close quarters, like 2 close quarters.
They didn't give me
I-
enough healing though. Like I almost died a few times because I couldn't find healing.
I died once, and I thought it was incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, I couldn't
just
shoot the
dodging
bubbles.
was really
Mhm.
difficult. It wouldn't work half the time. He didn't telegraph his attacks enough, so I didn't know when he was going to hit, and then you have to take the hit and then heal up.
Yeah.
I had to restart once, and I turned it to easy because I really didn't like how long it was.
I mean, there's no
It was pretty
achievement
jank.
for beating it on a higher difficulty, so it didn't really matter what difficulty you played it on.
Yeah, it's one of those fights where you got to shoot things on the creature, kind of like the tree from Dark Souls 3. That
Oh,
fight, you
yeah.
destroy the sacks on the tree or whatever.
It's like the boss from Resident Evil 2 with the eyeballs. You know what I'm talking about? In
Sounds familiar.
the
Yeah,
lab,
yeah.
you have to shoot the eyeballs, and then some of them are on his back, so you have to get behind him.
Wait, what
That's kind of
was
the
it?
same. Remember from Resident Evil 2?
Oh, yeah.
With he was looked like a dragon almost. And he had a bunch of eyeballs.
Is it common? I feel like it's not common for a. Well, I don't know what the other endings are, but like a happy ending with like a Lovecraftian thing. You know what I mean?
I don't
I feel like
think
Lovecraft
there
is like
happy
usually
ending.
with these deities, they're like so
Powerful.
incredible that you can't. There's just like no hope. You just like you can't. Just give up.
Yeah,
But
the
maybe
whole
this
thing
one's, like,
itself
lower tier one.
was interesting. I like the idea that it was just in the woods for who knows how long, maybe thousands of years,
Yeah,
and corrupting people, making them sacrifice to it. That's a really creepy concept.
it is. Yeah,
I love Cthulhu or Lovecraft.
we need more games like this.
I
mean,
know.
honestly, we got 2 this year. There's this one and
Still Wakes the Deep.
yeah. So, well, this one's more. I think this one's more. Well, actually,
The other
what
one,
do you
they're
think is more
both.
Lovecraft?
They're well. I'd say they're both Lovecraftian, but I like this one better, to be honest. Just because
Yeah,
like
me too.
it's more Resident Evil. The other one's more like Outlast, where you have to run and hide and run and hide.
Yeah, because you can't fight in that one. I don't think
You can throw stuff, but you can't fight.
Yeah.
What were
So,
those things, those collectibles? Lagniappe? I don't even know how you say those.
The
Oh
collectibles?
yeah, the
They're called-
collectibles had to do with some of the endings you got.
Yeah, but what is a Lagniappe? Or whatever that
I
is.
don't know.
Something
I
given as
see
a
that.
bonus or a gift? I don't
Yeah.
know. North American. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I guess it's a gift or something. Yeah, that was just the name of the collectibles, and I wasn't sure if there was any backstory to that or context.
What is this IGN site? They have like check marks and stuff. Tasks. What the heck?
It's probably IGN has a ton of like progression saving
Oh
like,
yeah,
articles and
That's
stuff.
crazy. Checklists. What in the world?
and it's all a horrible format. Honestly, I've seen that before, and it doesn't. I don't like the
I
way
don't
they
know
laid it
who
out.
would even use that. Let's just make your own.
Yeah, like the Call of Duty camo tracker we're using. That's so much better than anything IGN has put out.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know. Closing thoughts. I thought it was a good game.
It's a
Not
it's,
$60.
It's a fun
worth,
game,
but
yeah.
$30.
Yeah.
20
I
to
think
30
that-
bucks is good.
A lot of the story was very average, and then when it started going more the Lovecraftian direction, I started to like it a lot more, especially with
Yeah.
that crazy ending. And it seemed at first like one of those really tame horror movies where nothing really happens, and they sort of like want it to be horror, but also not too scary.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
This really shows that like they tried to make it different.
Yeah.
Like killing all the characters is a pretty
That's
bold
huge.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for
insane.
the couple main characters,
Yeah.
but all the characters you talk to are pretty much dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was good.
I think it was a good game,
Agreed.
despite minor issues.
Yeah, I think
All right.
that's our that's our last Halloween episode.
Yeah, unless you want to play Resident Evil 3.
I think I want to do Black Ops next week because I think we'll have a ton of time.
Oh yeah, well we'll play Black Ops plenty by that time.
Yeah.
You're gonna have gold by then, Chug.
Oh, you mean Dark?
He's
Or
gonna
you're gonna have
no.
everything done.
No,
Yeah,
I-
he's gonna have, what do you
I
call
don't.
it?
I won't have
Awesome.
Dark Matter by then. There's no way. Because
By
I
next
still
week.
have to go. I still have to do the other challenges too. Like once you get gold, you still have the other challenges, which won't
Those
take
are
that
easy
long.
though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the Black Ops podcast. I like this format too. It's pretty
Yeah, it
relaxed.
should be good. All right.
Are we
Well,
closing out now?
Yeah,
We can
that'll
just-
be it for the October series for now, at least. And
Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
See you next week.